What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
Gang. Let's get into this bit, man. It's so damn cold. What's up? It's your boy. Can't tell you shit. I'm a man. We are leading to the turn. Today, it's motherfucking day. So here us our big group in the gang straight up shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia do your thing, and Texas stand the fuck up. These days is ready to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always my back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also never put yourself in a position you don't belong. Stay humble, let's go on a revolution on this moment. Keep you always first, come to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. Alright, boom. Today, the motherfucking day. So here outside big crib in the gang straight up shit, man. Alright, gang. Let's get into this shit, man. Oblocc Louie. I want to say rest in peace, Oblocc Louie. I didn't know about this shit until like recently that Oblocc Louie had died from a drug overdose, gang. Y'all know I had one a few weeks ago, man. That stuff is no joke, man. Like I said, man, there's nothing wrong with drugs, but don't do them if you can't take them. You know what I'm saying? It's all about mindset. Like, it's certain drugs I ain't gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And once I learned that that's not good for me, I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still do what I do. But you know what I'm saying? Stay safe out your crib. Oblocc Louie was King Von's best friend. That night that King Von passed away, got popped. He got popped too, and he outside his head was messed up. And they say he died of a drug overdose, man. So we finna look into this mysterious death of Oblocc Louie. Man, R.I.P. Oblocc Louie. I did not know this. I spoke about Oblocc Louie before. He was one of the dudes who got in a shootout with when King Von died that night. He passed away from a drug overdose, man. And y'all know I had a drug overdose a few weeks ago. It's sad, man. Them drugs, man. I tell people not to do drugs if you're not really good with them. But you can do drugs, but don't, like, if you're not, like, comfortable with them and you just don't feel like it, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's all on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to do my stuff, but I ain't going to do, like, the stuff that fucked me up. But R.I.P. Oblocc Louie.
The news broke in whispers, in cryptic social media posts, and messages laced with grief.
What really happened to Oblocc Louie, man?
Oblocc Louie, gone, but how? Why? There are no answers, only echoes of a name tied to survival, to resilience, to a night drenched in chaos and tragedy. The very same night that took King Von, the night Louie was supposed to die, but didn't, until now. It was a night the streets would never forget. Bullets flew, sirens screamed, and in the midst of it all, Louie fell. A gunshot to the head, police reports, frantic calls, and then silence. But somehow, against all odds, he survived. Not unscathed, not unchanged, but alive. He spoke about it later to DJ Vlad, recounting the moment everything went dark, the moment he slid between life and death. He remembered the chaos, the panic, the blood, but he also remembered waking up. I wasn't supposed to be here, he admitted once, his voice steady but haunted. But I am. Now, the unthinkable has happened. He survived the impossible, only to leave us now, in circumstances no one seems to understand. Louie's life after that night was not one of ease. The bullet may not have ended him, but it left a mark that no one could erase. Surgery after surgery, 17 hours under the knife, and then another, and another. God is good. He was safe before every operation, so ain't no worries.
Thank y'all.
As you can see, I'm getting ready Everything gonna be alright though. I promise it is. I'm in my room. Getting ready for my surgery.
Dang, his head actually looked like normal. Not being funny, it looked normal, just like sure.
That's what's going on.
But you can kind of tell it's like it's kind of fucking up, you know?
So yeah.
Damn.
They said it's gonna be a couple hours, but it is what it is.
They made so much money off this nigga, and he died.
Hey, I always believe God is a blessing.
Facts all the time.
But yeah, I just had to let y'all know what's going on. I gotta get up out of here. I'm getting ready to have my surgery. So, I'll be back in tune with y'all.
But how much can one man endure? How many battles can a single soul fight before the weight of it all becomes too much? Through it all, he kept his spirit high. He spoke to his people, to his supporters, to the ones who looked at him as proof that survival was possible. He never let the pain show, never let the struggle define him. But struggle, it did. And now, it's over.
Getting ready for my surgery. You know what I'm saying? God is good.
You like the old school football helmet.
So ain't no worries. Ready to get it out the way, that's it.
Damn, man.
So, getting y'all this update. Other than that, I'm chilling. In good spirit. You gotta be in good.
Oh yeah, shout out to Drill
Can't let nothing bring you down.
247. Shout out to Drill 247, man.
So that's what keep me going. Hey, it's a lot to deal with, but at the end of the day, God got the last say so.
That's a fact.
So we gonna live it as that.
All praise glory go to God, man. You never know on your day, man.
Up to update when I get where I'm going.
What happened to Louie? The whispers say one thing, the rumors another. But the truth, that remains
So
just
what
out of
happened?
reach, slipping between fingers like smoke in the cold Chicago air. Did the past catch up to him? Did the wounds, old and new, finally take their toll? Or is there something more at play? The ones who knew him mourned. The ones who followed his journey searched for meaning. But all that remains is silence, a void where answers should be. To understand the weight of his loss, we have to go back. Back to the night everything changed. The night King Von lost his life, and Oblocc Louie was supposed to lose his too. It was November 6th, 2020, Atlanta. A late night confrontation outside Monaco Hookah Lounge.
When we go back to November 5th, 2020, like, what was that day feeling like for you?
I just thought it was gonna be a regular day, like it always be. But evidently, things went wrong. He lost his life. Slutty lost his life. And I mean,
The police was killing the
I'm
people.
here to talk about it. A lot of more people say they got shot, but
the police was
It's been
killing them.
almost a week since rapper King Von was shot and killed in Atlanta. His death has
They're
been a
trying to say the
trending
police killed
topic
King
ever
Von.
since then. Right now, GBI and APD are both investigating different segments of this case, leading to the arrest of 2 more people.
And guess who's
Police say
working for the police?
26-year-old rapper King Von, whose real name is Davon Bennett, was
Man,
one of
this
6
is
people
crazy,
shot
man.
last Friday near Trinity Avenue. Investigators say King
What's
Von
that nigga
and
name, the music
34-year-old
person?
Mark Blakely both died after a shootout between 2 groups of men, but police say the arrest of 22-year-old Timothy Leaks completes the investigation into King Von's murder. But they have not said who was responsible for Blakely's death and for shooting the other victims. In a previous interview, APD says 2 officers responded to the altercation and both fired their weapons, but they didn't know yet if they shot or injured anyone.
We know that they're fired and there's a high probability, but we want to, again, be sure.
I'm just saying from what I know.
How was Von acting that day? Was he being himself, or was he acting abnormal?
Von gonna always be himself.
What's that nigga name?
I don't know. It's just
Track, yeah,
it
Track,
just seemed
100K
like a regular
Track.
day. I don't know if it seemed like a regular day to him, but
100K Track.
thought it was just
I think he
gonna be a
set it up,
regular
man.
day, but
I think he got
evidently
King Von to get took it
it
up,
went
man.
sideways. I almost lost my life. 2 people already lost their life, so.
Oblocc, Louie, what you went through is really unimaginable. And I know that there was probably some nights that you probably wondered if you could make it through.
Today, we journey into the heart of Chicago's South Side to a place called Oblocc. This isn't just any neighborhood. It's a place with a notorious reputation, known for its gangs, its violence, its shadows. But can a place with such a heavy past ever change, especially now with recent events throwing everything into uncertainty? Let's dive in, no diddy, and try to untangle this complex web.
I'm just trying to get back. Come on, man. Y'all got to get me up there so I can say what I'm finna say, man. You think I'm playing, but I'm just not playing. Okay, I'm at 280, 279. Y'all got to get me up there.
For those unfamiliar, Oblocc is synonymous with the Black Disciples gang. This isn't about petty crime. This is serious, organized violence that has left deep scars on the community. The history here is layered and complicated. The roots of Oblocc are intertwined with the history of Chicago's gangs. They're inseparable. Now, with the recent arrest of Oblocc Louie in Atlanta for murder, a fugitive caught in the act, it feels like a pivotal moment. It's as if the entire situation has reached a boiling point. Can such a cycle of crime and retribution ever be broken? And then there's King Von. You can't discuss Oblocc without mentioning him. A rising star in the rap scene and a significant figure in the community. His death in 2020 was a devastating blow.
You know, King Von is still a very important figure in hip-hop and in Chicago. You know, I'm sorry for what you had to go through in terms of not only what happened to you, but essentially your friend who you were living with and Slutty getting killed that same night. And then also Track getting shot in the legs. It is just a worst possible situation.
It wasn't just King Von we lost that night. Oblocc member Slutty was also fatally shot, and Oblocc Louie was shot in the head by police, but survived. These events were like a catalyst, pushing the community further into turmoil.
You know, the type of surgeries you guys you had to do, those weren't like broken fingers or, a broken leg. They're actually fixing
my head.
Your head and your brain. So was there any brain damage at all?
Nah, I'm surprised it wasn't, but it wasn't really no brain damage.
Okay,
I'm kind of glad it wasn't.
You know how hard it is to live life, you know what I'm saying?
Or
God,
did it get
fucked
stuck
up,
in the skull,
like, being honest, like, fucked up side of your
think
head,
it
like,
just got stuck.
it's tough, man.
It just got stuck.
Did they remove the bullet fragments out of your head?
I think it's still a little bit in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, was there ever a time where you felt like, man, I can't do this. I just want to check out. I don't want to do any more surgeries. I don't want to go on anymore. This is just too much to bear.
I can't do that because I done came a long way. God
Dang. So,
got me too
y'all
far to
think
even
somebody took him out?
be trying to
Set
think
him up?
like that. So I can't never think like that. When he ready for me, he gonna be ready for me. But I ain't finna just be ready to check out like that. When you ready for me, you ready for me. What y'all on? Life going good. Few complications, but hey. Yeah, what can I complain about?
Oblocc Louie, a real one, man. RIP, man. You lose the real niggas, man, out here on the streets, man. Damn, the police officers did it. Fuck 12, man. He's a pussy.
Just give me a brief understanding of what transpired.
I'm literally sitting in my car. I can't on YouTube. A fight breaks out. A dude hops out the car and immediately just starts shooting. So he starts shooting. I get out the car. I don't know where he went, but a security guard like, there he goes.
So why y'all start shooting everybody else?
Give him a girl command, stop. He tosses the gun. I'm trying to secure him. Another male, the guy that I shot, he comes from around the corner. And I see the gun in his hand. He starts shooting into the crowd. At that point, I shoot him.
Damn. So they all blicked up.
Give me the keys. I'll get you.
Swag guy has
your keys. Just hold tight, okay?
Why y'all shoot the nigga in the head?
Alright, gang, it's been another one, man. You already know what it is. Drillers and trappers, we out here trapping.
Hey, shout to Real Drill, man.
Get in that comment section, man.
Fuck with it.
Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video.
Driller 24/7. We fuck with you. Hey man, shout out to Hood War Chronicles. We've been talking about the story of Oblocc Louie, the first slide for King Von. The first to slide. Damn!
Thought it was gonna be a regular day, like it always be. But evidently, things went wrong. He lost his life. I thought it was just gonna be a regular day, but evidently, it went sideways. I almost lost my life. Once I came out and they told me like it was, I ain't make it to the funeral, so it was really kind of hard.
Lil Durk may have shown his loyalty to King Von, but there was one person who took slide for Von to heart long before that phrase became popular, Oblocc Louie. On the night Von was offed, Louie was ready to risk everything to avenge him. He didn't think twice about his own life or the police already on his tail. As soon as he saw Quando Rondo's SUV, he fired.
Get on the ground. I ain't moving. Look, my ass hurt.
That decision cost him dearly, as he ended up getting shot in the head, leaving him with a permanent injury and a story that's as raw as it gets. Let's take a closer look at Louie's life. Louie grew up on the south side of Chicago, specifically on 62nd and Calumet. While many assume he's originally from Oblocc, that's actually not the case, although he definitely spent plenty of time there.
I'm from the south side. I see a lot of people, they really think I'm from the O, but I'm really from 62nd and Calumet.
Louie is one of 8 siblings, and he was out on the streets from a Your life is your choice, so if you feel 8 siblings, and he was out on the streets from a young age, though he doesn't remember exactly when he jumped off the porch. In his words, he was always that kid who was quick to hustle and survive in his environment. Louie and Vaughn crossed paths when Vaughn moved to Oblocc, and they instantly connected. According to Louie, what made Vaughn different was his authenticity. Vaughn was real and stayed true to himself, which isn't something you find in everyone.
I met King Von, goddammit, when he moved to Oblocc.
What was it about him that made you, connect with him, click with him?
I mean, he just who he is, like.
Louie admired Vaughn's generosity, saying Vaughn did a lot for people out of the kindness of his heart without expecting anything in return. They became close quickly, though Louie doesn't quite know why Vaughn took such a liking to him.
He did a lot of stuff from the heart, and they really care about if you pay it back or whatever the case may be. And then he just took a liking to me. I don't know why he liked me, how he liked me, but only he'll be able to tell you.
Their bond only deepened when Vaughn started his music career, and soon Louie was living with him, tagging along on trips and experiencing the thrill of success up close. When Vaughn's fame took off, life became a whirlwind for the two of them. They traveled from city to city, living it up and enjoying every moment on tour. Louie remembers it as an incredible time, until the night that everything went tragically wrong. He recalls that night starting like any other, with Vaughn being his usual self. But then everything spiraled in an instant.
I just thought it was going to be a regular day, like it always be. But evidently, things went wrong. He lost his life. It was just going to be a regular day, but evidently, it went sideways. I almost lost my life.
Louie ended up in a coma for 2 months after the shooting. When he finally woke up, he was told Vaughn was gone. Processing that news was nearly impossible, especially while recovering from a severe head injury.
Once I came out and they told me, like, it was, I ain't make it to the funeral, so it was really kind of hard.
Louie describes the pain of hearing about Vaughn's death as overwhelming. To this day, he doesn't know exactly why Vaughn approached Quando Rondo that night and started swinging. It's just one of those things that happened because, according to Louie, Vaughn was always going to do what Vaughn wanted.
Do you know what made King Von walk up on Quando Rondo and start punching him?
Like I said, he gonna be who he gonna be. And he already said when he catch him what he was gonna do.
On November 5th, 2020, Vaughn tweeted his location for the evening, sharing that he was performing at Atlanta's club Opium. While at the club, Vaughn retweeted a Young Guinness lyric with the caption hinting that he and his crew were going to catch somebody, treating them as food. At the same time, Quando Rondo and his crew were also in town, fresh off shooting a music video. After finishing his show at Opium, instead of heading back to his Airbnb, Vaughn took a detour going to the location where Quando Rondo was hanging out.
Went over there to the after party, and then his driver and his homeboy let us know that we was redirected. We think we're gonna go to Airbnb or the hotel.
What started as a confrontation quickly turned violent, with a fight breaking out between the two crews. In the chaos, King Von was shot 4 times. Security footage of the incident spread quickly online, showing the moments that led to the shooting. Vaughn was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, undergoing emergency surgery, but tragically, he didn't make it. The world woke up to the shocking news of his death, with media outlets everywhere reporting on the sudden loss.
Rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued.
As we know now, the events surrounding Vaughn's death are what allegedly led to the emder-for-hire charges against Chicago rapper Lil Durk's OTF crew. The infamous night when Quando Rondo's friend Lil Tim shot and offed King Von was just the beginning, igniting a cycle of violent retaliation attempts. Vaughn wasn't just a rising star in the rap world. He was a respected and feared figure in the Chicago drill scene, and his death shook up more than just the music industry. For Quando, Lil Tim, and their associates, Vaughn's death didn't just mean losing a peer. It meant that they could be marked targets for revenge, especially from Vaughn's crew, OTF, and the larger circle of Chicago figures who were loyal to him. The tension only escalated when fans started the Slide for Vaughn movement, a slogan used to taunt Durk and question why he hadn't yet avenged Vaughn's death. The phrase comes comes in part from one of Von's famous lyrics where he raps that if he dies, his people would be sliding every day to avenge him and raise the Emder rate.
And if I should die, I'm pushing the right. Go slide every day.
Then there's Lil Durk's line on Pooh Shiesty's Back in Blood where he says, if the caker isn't dead, you can't wear an R.I.P. shirt.
Killer ain't dead, sure no R.
These lyrics became fuel for fans to pressure Durk to make a move, though it's likely he didn't need that extra push to want revenge for his close friend's death. Durk even seemed to acknowledge the situation when, in an interview, he hinted that he had, in fact, slid for Von.
I'm not sure everybody slide for Von comments. Still, I don't know if people still say it. For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. You see them comments a lot? They kind of chilled out a little bit. I don't know why.
Quando Rondo himself didn't exactly make things easier for himself after King Von's death. Instead, he kept provoking Von's people, practically putting a target on his own back. Quando released a new song titled End of Story, which seemed like a direct nod and diss to Von's popular Crazy Story series. The title alone made fans see it as a way of saying that Quando and his crew had ended Von's story, adding more fuel to the tension. To make things even more provocative, the cover art for End of Story featured a photo of Quando and Lil Tim from a music video shoot taken just before the fatal night when Von was offed. In End of Story, Quando gives his side of the incident, airing out his frustration about the backlash Lil Tim faced for defending him by opening fire. Quando rapped about how, in his view, other people's friends would have left them behind instead of defending them the way Tim did for him. He added that if the roles were reversed and he had been the one offed by Von's people, fans would probably be celebrating rather than condemning. In the song, Quando also outright claims that Lil Tim did nothing wrong, saying that if people don't have friends who'd protect them the way Tim did, they shouldn't keep them around. But he didn't stop there. He continued to drop lines that seemed like direct shots at Von and his crew from Oblocc. One of the most disrespectful lines in the song says, "Blood on your brother on the ground, go and pick your mans up," while he and Tim claim self-defense. Quando even rapped that Von shouldn't have put his hands on him, adding a taunt about a supposed $1 million bounty that had been put on his head. And in a jab at his new ops from Chicago, he rapped, "Is that all you got? Why not make it 8 million?" This line may have sounded casual, but given Lil Durk's wealth and connections, a rumored bounty coming from this crew was not something to brush off lightly. The tension got even worse in the days after Von's death, when rumors spread that Lil Durk had bought up all the tickets to Quando's next show, which was supposed to happen on November 28th in Georgia. The event was ultimately canceled, and the venue, Shockflow Entertainment Center, informed fans that the cancellation was due to Quando's legal situation. To add to the intensity, rapper 600 Breezy took to his IG story the day End of Story dropped, challenging Quando to stop canceling shows and daring him to perform the song live. But despite the heat in the streets and the music world, Quando and his crew didn't seem ready to let things cool down. On November 24th, Quando posted a cryptic tweet saying, "We gon' see," leaving fans to wonder if more drama was coming. But Quando wasn't the only one taking shots in music. Just a week after End of Story was released, Lil Durk teased his own track, Hellcats and Trackhawks, on November 27th, 2020. In a snippet, Durk's lyrics suggested that he and his crew were ready to catch Quando at his shows, a possible reference to the rumor that Durk had bought all the tickets to Quando's recent gig.
On his ass where it shows at. He get away, we on his ass where he parole at.
Later, when the full version of Hellcats and Trackhawks dropped, it included even more lyrics where Durk seemed to hint at plans to catch up with Lil Tim and get revenge.
As a Trackhawks, they got Timmy on the turn up in the blast on.
Durk also dropped a line directed at either Quando or NBA Youngboy, rapping that he's not feeling people's favorite rapper. The very next day, on November 28th, the same day Quando's original show was scheduled to happen, the mayor of Monroe, Georgia, canceled the performance. Quando then went live from a gas station, posting a menacing clip where he claimed to be there with his whole team from Jump Out Gang and the Rollin' 60s Crips, saying they were armed and ready if anything went down.
Police done cancel the show, cuz. That thing got me blown. We've been ready. On 6, so we've been ready to put a,
following the show's cancellation. 600 Breezy was quick to laugh at Quando on Instagram, mocking him and calling him a H on Twitter. This didn't sit well with Quando's crew, and Lil Pop responded with some bold tweets, claiming that people in their city who once admired the 33rd Street crew had now turned on them after King Von's death. He even seemed to address 600 Breezy directly, tweeting "F your friend," and saying he'd spit on his ops when he saw them in real life. The next day, Quando fired back with another video clip on social media, this time wearing a mask and holding a rifle, claiming he was in Chicago and daring his enemies to pull up.
We in that rack right now. Pull up. You get what I'm saying? I ain't got no show.
That's gotta be the dumbest shit ever, nigga. Why you
In
posting that
response
with
to
guns on
Quando's
a
claims
TV?
about being in Chicago,
on
600
camera,
Breezy took things further
be
by
the
dropping
dumbest
his own
shit
address
ever.
and daring Quando and his crew to show up. With rumors flying
You
around
don't
that
bet his
Quando
innocent
canceled
act.
his show because he was scared to perform, Quando tried to put an end to the talk by calling his promoter on the phone and sharing footage that allegedly proved the promoter, not him, was behind the cancellation.
Listen, I got the promoter on the phone right now. This is the promoter from last night, right here on the phone. All right, check this out, bit, bro. Please tell these folks I did not cancel no show, bit, bro.
Man, Quando ain't canceled. Man, the police and the mayor came at the last minute. They came at 9 o'clock saying we couldn't do the show.
However, some fans speculated the footage was fake due to a date stamp from 2018, though it could have been a time sync issue with the security camera. The pressure to constantly defend himself online must have worn on Quando, because he eventually deleted his Instagram, but the drama wasn't over. Just over a week later, on December 7th, alleged DMs began circulating that seemed to show Quando pleading with Lil Durk to end the feud, saying he couldn't do shows with all this heat on him. Durk's supposed reply was just as ominous: "Stay safe." Quando later returned to social media and denied that the DMs were real, calling them fake, but the rumors kept intensifying. Then, a day after the supposed DMs leaked, Lil Durk and King Von's close friend Mimo600 turned up the heat even more. He posted a picture in front of a sign in Savannah, Georgia, Quando's hometown, basically announcing that he was there looking for him. Mimo even went live at a Savannah gas station, showing off a gun and claiming he had all the tires with him. To drive the point home, he even imitated Quando's previous video where he stood at a gas station with his crew.
I'm in Savannah. On Waldo, we in Savannah, boy. We're in Mart somewhere, gas station.
Came out here to die today, cuz. I came to die today, cuz. I came to leave my daughter all type of.
After all the back and forth and public challenges, Quando eventually decided to schedule a new concert date for May 1st, 2021 in Waycross, Georgia. This show wasn't just about performing, it was a message. He wanted everyone, fans, rivals, and those who doubted him, to see that he could still show up, perform, and live his life without being scared. However, the reality would prove more complicated. On May 1st, Quando took the stage in Waycross, Georgia, but the turnout was surprisingly sparse. Clips surfaced of Quando performing to a nearly empty venue, and Quando himself acknowledged the disappointing turnout, even commenting on it to his fans. Despite the low attendance, he expressed gratitude to those who showed up.
I'm gonna lie. Man, my show was really, really funny. People at this, but I know I got a lot of going on. You feel me? But I still appreciate everybody who came out.
But the low turnout would soon become the least of Quando's worries. As the night progressed and Quando and his team left the venue, they made a stop at a Circle K gas station in the nearby town of Blackshear, just 11 minutes away. Around 3:20 a.m., while Quando and his entourage were parked in the gas station lot, someone began to open fire from across the street. Reports indicate that the barrage was intense, with over 100 bullets fired at Quando and his crew. At least one person was hit during the shooting, sustaining a gunshot wound to the hand and ending up in the hospital. Quando, however, managed to flee the scene before authorities arrived. As news spread, bystanders at the scene began to document the aftermath, posting videos of the crime scene to social media. In one widely shared clip, a woman can be heard narrating the situation, telling viewers that they were at the scene of the Quando Rondo shooting.
My God, it is Quando, y'all. It's got to be. They talking about it was the rapper that performed at the Vibe at the club. They talking about it was Quando.
She noted that the gunfire had been so loud that people down the street had heard it clearly, even walking up to bullet markers left by authorities to indicate where shell casings were found.
Look at them bullets. Picking up bullets.
It was unclear who exactly was responsible for the shooting. Shortly after the incident, a gang from Savannah known as S8K, or the Section 8 Kids, posted a cryptic message online with a caption reading, "Get Back Gang." This phrase carries significant weight in Chicago's gang landscape, as it's the name associated with King Von's own group, known for its emphasis on revenge. Adding to the intrigue, the post featured audio from Lil Durk's track Hellcats and Track Hawks, in which Durk raps about catching someone lacking at a show, lyrics that eerily echoed the circumstances of the attack on Quando. Fast forward to August 2022, it appeared Durk had allegedly taken action once again, this time resulting in the death of Quando's friend Lil Pob. It was August 18th, and Quando Rondo had just landed in LA with his crew, which included his sister and his cousin Lil Pob. After learning Quando's whereabouts, it said that Durk's people moved fast. Flights, rental cars, private jets, everything was booked urgently, as OTF members rushed to LA. The urgency wasn't random either. Reports say that a bounty had been placed on Quando's head, allegedly by a co-conspirator 1, the main person financing this operation. Many speculate that co-conspirator 1 is actually Lil Durk, given his high rank and resources in OTF. It's his label, his credit cards that were reportedly used for booking all of this. Flights, hotels, rental cars. The setup seemed all too organized, with multiple people involved in what looks like a revenge mission.
I believe that co-conspirator 1 seems to be aiming at somebody who's a boss within the OTF organization that could that could put money up and also promise music opportunities. Aiming at someone who would be Durk or could be Durk's brother who passed. But the only person living would be Durk. It could be Durk.
Once OTF landed in LA, they moved like clockwork. They got what they needed. Cars, hotels, ski masks, firearms. They even communicated using coded messages to avoid suspicion. Eventually, they all gathered near Quando's hotel, knowing his entire schedule, even when and where he'd be heading next. On the day of the ambush, Quando was driving a black Escalade with OTF members tailing him in a white BMW. They tracked him discreetly, trailing his every move. It's said that Quando wasn't even aware he was being followed. When they finally caught up with him at a gas station, they wasted no time. OTF's crew parked nearby, popped out, and began firing. The tragic part is, Quando himself was inside the vehicle, but his cousin, Lil Pob, was outside when the shots rang out. Pob was hit, but Quando was fortunate enough to make it through unharmed. However, their actual target, Quando, escaped without a scratch, while his cousin didn't survive.
Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic.
No, when y'all kill King Von, though, but y'all
that is,
when
until someone started talking, and that's where OTF Jam comes into the picture. Prominent figures in the hip-hop community, including Whack 100 and DJ Academics, have openly discussed the rumors about OTF Jam. Whack 100, during an interview on Vlad TV, provided some background on Jam's situation, stating he did 12 years, got out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him $50,000, made mention that ain't no smudge on his name. He ain't never been a rat, caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
Jam. 12 years, got out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him $50,000. Right. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name, he ain't never been a rat, caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
DJ Vlad added fuel to the conversation, agreeing with Whack and saying he had allegedly been wearing a wire for the last 2 years.
OTF Jam did 12 years for attempted murder. He got out in 2022, right around the same time of the Quando situation. And he allegedly had been wearing a wire for the last 2 years.
I'm 22 to 24.
Additionally, Chicago rapper King Yella also shared his thoughts, saying he had heard from a source within OTF that someone had snitched on Durk, specifically naming OTF Jam.
But I heard somebody named OTF Jam, they said they've been calling him a rat. And basically he said, okay, I'm a rat. Well, watch this.
As if to confirm this further, multiple blogs and media outlets are reporting that OTF Jam's name is actually listed in the indictment as a police informant, making these accusations appear even more credible. With Jam cooperating, the feds had all they needed. They began putting together who made the call, who was in the car, who covered the flights, and all the other details they'd been missing. This whole situation just highlights the dark side of the gang lifestyle. As for Louie, he's incredibly grateful to be alive, and he says he just wants to leave Chicago and find peace in a quiet place, a choice many agree is a wise one.
Okay, say you have a low credit score.
Shout out to DJ U. This is Oblocc Louie. You know what I'm saying? He passed away, man, due to complications he suffered, man. I didn't know that.
DJ UTV, let them know who we got in the building.
Louie 6'4".
Louie, what you on, gang?
Nothing, man. I'm just chilling. Taking one day at a time.
Well, welcome to DJ UTV. It's definitely a blessing to have you in the building tonight.
Yeah.
For sure. Look, I'm glad to see that smile, man.
Man, I'm just trying to stay in there. That's it.
For sure. Well, you here. It's a blessing, you know.
Definitely is.
And we just want to shed light, you know, shed light on your situation, shed light on yourself, shed light on your story, you know. This is a historic story. You feel me?
I know, right?
You could have went to CNN with them, you know. You could have went to BET. You came to DJ UTV.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, though, Louie. What side of Chicago you from?
I'm from the South Side. See, a lot of people, they really think I'm from the old, but I'm really from 62nd and Calumet.
Okay.
But you know, I'm still Oblocc too, but that's originated where I'm from.
Word. 62nd and Calumet. So you from the Calumet buildings?
Yeah.
Word. Which a lot of people, you know, a lot of people from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when the buildings went down, you had to migrate?
Yeah.
That's when you moved to Oblocc?
No, I never once lived in Parkway.
Okay.
I was just always around. Now staying at people's crib then, yeah, but I never lived in, had my own place and nothing like that.
Okay. Cause I was looking at some pictures from back in the day. I saw a lot of pictures with you and Chief Keef.
Oh, well, you know, that's just that's what it was.
Yeah.
But you know, them was old pictures though, so
right.
Man, it's the past.
Yeah, well that's what I mean. Like back then, you had a close relationship with Sosa back then?
I mean, we was in the studio, so I mean, yeah, I say. But other than that, he was around. Right. I can say that. He was around.
But overall, though, what was it like, though, for yourself growing up in Inglewood? Both parents at home, any siblings, stuff like that? What was your household like?
I got 7 siblings, but 2 on my daddy's side, and I got 5 on my mama's side, and then I got a brother that's older than me.
Right. That's what's up, man. So when you was coming up between 62nd and Calumet, Parkway, you say you never stayed at Parkway, but you know that's all in the same area. You know, around what age did you jump off the porch and get involved in the streets?
To be honest, I can't even tell you that because it's I just always been me.
Yeah.
So I can't even really give you no exact answer when I jumped off the porch because I always been in it.
Yeah. So outside running around just bad as hell, doing little shit?
I was always one of them.
Yeah.
I definitely was.
That's what's up, man. What's one of your craziest childhood memories or childhood stories you want to mind sharing with the viewers? Because if you weren't from Oblocc, how you end up over there?
You know, They used to come to the building and all type of stuff. So it was, well, some of them, I ain't gonna say all of them, but
I know you got some crazy stories about the builders, because them was the days.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. It's this person, his name C-Mac. He used to always throw up money. And that was one of the members.
He throw money around?
Yeah, you know, back in the day, if they got it, they'll throw it up, and he had it.
He did.
So, like, on certain days, he'll throw it up. And that was one of my favorite memories.
Yeah. So when he throw it up, like, what's the reaction from everybody else? Everybody scattering for the dollars?
Nah, he throwing up more than dollars. He had got them to throw up 500.
Yeah.
Or probably more than that, depending on how he feel. But it wasn't never just no dollars. Cause everybody ain't finna be doing all that for no dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So it gotta be something that's worth it.
Mm-hmm. So when along your journey did you meet King Von?
I met King Von, goddammit, when he moved to Oblocc.
Okay.
Like, I ain't really know him when he was over there in the war, but when he moved to Oblocc, then that's when we got a closer relationship.
You remember the first time you met him?
That's crazy you just said that, because I don't.
Right.
I can't even remember the first time I met him.
Yeah. But overall, though, what was it about him that made you, connect with him, click with him?
I mean, he just who he is. Like, it's just really unexplanatory. Like, he did a lot of stuff from the heart, and they ain't really care about if you pay it back or whatever the case may be. So, and then he just took a liking me. I don't know why he liked me, how he liked me, but only he'll be able to tell you.
Yeah. He definitely took a strong liking to you for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell, like, he kind of like, Von was proud of all his friends. You know what I'm saying? He was happy to showcase all his friends, you know? And when you look at King Von's career, you was there with him damn near every step of the way.
Yeah.
So, were you all real tight? Well, obviously, I'm assuming you all were real tight before he even started rapping.
Like we spoke on that gas.
I mean, it's crazy you say that because we was close, but we weren't like we was once he started rapping.
Okay.
It's like once he started rapping, like, for some reason, we just got a little closer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what made him, goddammit, let me get a room out there at the crib.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So for yourself, you had to have seen the potential in King Von, you know what I'm saying, as a rapper. What were some of the early signs when you knew, man, folks finna mess around and blow up?
I can't even lie. To be honest, when he said he was gonna be a rapper, I couldn't believe it. And then, like, he just out the blue, just like doing certain stuff. Then he got them going on shows with Dirk, and it started from there. And then that's where it started at.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really when I started believing in him. Once I seen what he was actually on, like, he really taking it serious.
Yeah.
And that's when I started believing in him.
Yeah, for sure. And along his journey, man, I know he needed help with some things, you know, because artists be having so much going on. And when you coming up, it ain't everything that you could do, you know. So what were some things that you was, like, helping Von out with as far as, you know, his day-to-day?
I ain't gonna lie. It's crazy you say that because I really can't say what I was helping him with because he got his own man, and whatever he want to do, that's what he was gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a good point. He definitely led the way, you know. So when you So let's talk about like when he dropped the first joint, Grandson, right? Grandson Volume 1.
Yeah.
That was the one that caught everybody's attention. Then when he dropped LeVon James, that's what caught the label's attention, right?
Yeah.
But tell us about, tell us about the success, like the peak when things were going on, the fun y'all was having, stuff like that.
Oh, well, we was having so much fun. It was just like a natural life, like doing shows, going on the road and stuff, like that was just the life.
Yeah. Which city that y'all hit that you would never forget? What's one of them wild, crazy tour stories?
It's crazy you said that because I gotta give it to Philly.
Philly? Okay. Damn. I think go ahead. Is that the one I missed? I think that's the one I missed. That is the one I missed. Go ahead. What happened in Philly? Philly was lit.
What don't happen in Philly?
What's the Philly story, though? What happened?
It's a couple of them. That's what made me say Philly. I had my first threesome in Philly, though.
Damn.
I did.
Word. The Philly girls like that, huh?
I mean, it's just something about Philly. I don't want to keep saying too much about it because then they gonna see the interview. Like, what about Philly?
Word. Well, yeah, shout out to Philly, man. But just going back to some of the accomplishments, during Von's career, when he signed with Empire, one of the most famed moments is when, he did the video when he broke down the 100K, in Oblocc. Was you there that day? You was there that day. You was there all the days.
Yeah, but I got my money before he even did what he did.
Okay. So you was straight already.
Yeah, but I was still there to see them get their little cut and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Because I don't even really want to talk about that.
Word. Well, moving on, he had a relationship with Asian Dog. You know what I'm saying? Asian Dog crazy about King Von.
Hey, we gonna go on past that.
We gonna go on past that one too. But in all seriousness though, bro, you was there with him, you know what I'm saying, the whole ride, you feel me? You showed a lot of loyalty, being by his side, you feel me? It's like an elephant in the room, knowing, the night of.
When this is the night. That whole lit as fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
That whole
and
lit
you
as
being
fuck.
able to tell us, from your perspective. You know what I'm saying? But just talk to us though, bro. Like what was going on even before the whole situation happened?
That
like,
shit lit as fuck.
When we go back to November 5th, 2020, like what was that day feeling like for you?
I just thought it was gonna be a regular day, like it always be. But evidently, things went wrong. He lost his life. Slutty lost his life. And I guess I'm here to talk about it. That's the only way I could think of it. A lot of more people say they got shot, but I'm just saying from what I know.
It was a gloomy day to start with. How was Von acting that day? Was he being himself or was he acting abnormal?
Man, Von gonna always be himself, but I don't know. It just seemed like a regular day. I don't know if it seemed like a regular day to him, but I thought it was just going to be a regular day, but evidently it went sideways. I almost lost my life. 2 people already lost their life, so.
Yeah. And the reason why I asked that question is because I was seeing a lot of people saying like Von was tweaking that day, like he wasn't acting himself. I know he was excited because we had the album release party that night. You know, we were celebrating Boss Top birthday that night. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when we look back at the album release parties, you standing right there behind it. Feel me? So before the shooting occurred, how far does your memory go? Like, you remember all the way up until the point in which you got hit?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even know how I got hit. It's crazy you say that because I really don't remember a lot of stuff.
Right.
All I can remember is what people was telling me. And it's crazy you said that because my little sister, she went all the way back and she said she seen me holding my pocket. So it couldn't have been none in my pocket but money. The reason I'm holding my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that's what happened. She knew it was money in there. That's what she said.
Right.
She said she knew it was money in there because I was holding my pocket.
Man, that's crazy, bro. So I guess the $1 million question for real is, do you know what made King Von walk up on Quando Rondo and start punching on him?
I mean, like I said, he gonna be who he gonna be. And he already said when he catch him what he was gonna do. So at the end of the day, I feel like somebody could have said something, but Von just being Von.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's really how it went.
Mm-hmm. There wasn't no stopping him if he had his mind made up on what he wanted to do.
That's the thing about it.
Right.
And who really know Von should already know that, though.
Mm-hmm. Because, you know, of course, when it happened, a lot of people were saying, you know, what his entourage should have been doing. You know what I'm saying? They should have been the ones, stuff like that. But like you said, if you know, he go do what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? You survived a headshot, thank God. Was you hit just once?
Yeah, that's it, just once.
What you gonna say?
I think I'm every day.
For sure. I understand you was in a coma. How long were you in a coma?
They said I think they said 2 months or something like that.
2 months.
I ain't make it to the funeral or nothing.
So what's the road to recovery been like? You know, trying to get yourself back physically, mentally, emotionally.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I just been taking one day at a time, going to my doctor's appointments and stuff like that, and that's really all I can do. But it's been going all right, though.
Yeah.
Sure. This.
Oh, man, I ain't gonna lie. This definitely is this like a miracle story, you know. Especially being from the rack, bro. Like for real. You know, going back to them ATL days, like you said, man. You thought it was just a regular day, like who'd have thought that would have happened? You know, especially in the A. You feel me? But yeah, man. So we in recovery mode. What's our future goals and aspirations? You know, the real get back. You know what I'm saying? Getting ourselves back together.
I ain't gonna lie. I just want to get out of Chicago and go live a life somewhere else. That's just how it
Now, what make you say leave Chicago, knowing that, you know, obviously tragedy could happen anywhere? It happened down in the A. We thought we was moving away from the Bulls, you know, when we moved to the A.
I ain't even trying to move up.
Just somewhere peaceful, somewhere away.
Yeah.
Ducked off. Moving on, bro. It's been a lot of drama going on in Oblocc. You know what I'm saying? Do you still keep in touch with any of the guys at Oblocc?
I mean, I keep in touch with who keep in touch with me, but some of them, yeah, but you know, I really don't try to get into all that. It'd be too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just being honest.
Yeah. What keeps you going on the day-to-day basis? You know, as you work on getting back to your normal self.
My mama, my sister, them, probably a couple of guys. And I can't give up on myself at that.
That's a fact.
So of course me, if ain't nobody is, I am.
Right. You been working on some new music?
I know you used to ask that, but I don't really know if I want to do that no more.
For real?
I'm still trying to see. I don't really know.
Yeah. Well, you definitely got a story to tell, bro, whether it be through the music, through interviews, you know what I'm saying, however which way you would like to, you know, present it. But it's definitely worth, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely worth presenting. What y'all over there smoking on? I see it say Best Buds.
Oh yeah, that's his stuff.
Yeah, that's Best Buds right there. You can follow that on IG, Authentic Best Buds on IG. It's an up and coming brand. It's starting up right now.
Okay,
cool. It's definitely gas, definitely exotic.
Word.
Alright, gang, we're gonna end it right there. You know what I'm saying? RP. Gang, 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 gang. Let's get into this bit, man. It's so damn cold. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy. Can't tell you shit. I'm gonna say, man, we are leading to the turn. Today, it's motherfucking day. So here outside Big Crip in the gang straight up shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia do your thing, and Texas stand the fuck up. These days is ready to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always my back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also never put yourself in a position you don't belong. Stay humble, let's go on a revolution on this moment. Keep you always first, come to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. Alright, boom. Today, the motherfucking day. So here outside Big Crip in the gang straight up shit, man. Alright, gang. Let's get into this shit, man. Oblocc Louie. I want to say rest in peace, Oblocc Louie. I didn't know about this shit until like recently that Oblocc Louie had died from a drug overdose, gang. Y'all know I had one a few weeks ago, man. That stuff is no joke, man. Like I said, man, there's nothing wrong with drugs, but don't do them if you can't take them. You know what I'm saying? It's all about mindset. Like, it's certain drugs I ain't gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And once I learned that that's not good for me, I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still do what I do. But you know what I'm saying? Stay safe out here. Crip. Oblocc Louie was King Von's best friend. That night that King Von passed away, got popped. He got popped too, and he outside his head was messed up. And they say he died of a drug overdose, man. So we finna look into this mysterious death of Oblocc Louie. Alright, back. So y'all see how deep it is, man? Like, it sucks when, you know what I'm saying, when y'all get to a tough situation, man, and everybody, like, passes away, man, and, like, you survive, Crip, and you gotta go through, like, you know how hard it is to go through a life where you got, like, a dysfunction? Like, let's say you paralyzed, or your arm fucked up, or you can't move, or you a vegetable or some shit on your head. Like, that's hard to live life like that, gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you used to being like a normal person, and now you can't do nothing you used to do no more. That's stressful, man. I don't think he took himself out. I think it was like some just freak accident or somebody set him up. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know Oblocc Louie like that before the King Von death. But I like to say, man, that we all human beings at the end of the day, man. Everybody deserves to live their life in their full years. But you never know when it's time to go. It's time to go, gang. He died at a young age. Rest in peace. Prayers out to his family. And, man, King Von, free that nigga Lil Durk. Quando Rondo, man, it sucks how life can be. You can be at your latest moment. And then it's like everything just get fucked up. But, hey. We out here, man. Hood, Northside, Big Crip, gang. We out this bitch. Alright, back. So y'all see how deep it is, man? Like, it sucks when, you know what I'm saying? When y'all get into a tough situation, man, and everybody, like, passes away, man, and, like, you survive, Crip, and you gotta go through, like, you know how hard it is to go through a life where you got, like, a dysfunction? Like, let's say you paralyzed, or your arm fucked up, or you can't move, or you a vegetable or some shit in your head. Like, that's hard to live life like that, gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you used to being, like, a normal person, and now you can't do nothing you used to do no more. That's stressful, man. I don't think he took himself out. I think it was like some just freak accident or somebody set him up. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know Oblocc Louie like that before the King Von death. But I like to say, man, that we all human beings at the end of the day, man. Everybody deserves to live their life in their full years. But you never know when it's time to go. It's time to go, gang. He died at a young age. Rest in peace. Prayers out to his family. And, man, King Von, free that nigga Lil Durk. Quando Rondo, man, it sucks how life can be. You can be at your latest moment. And then it's like everything just get fucked up. But, hey, we out here, man. Hood, Northside, Big Crip, gang. We out this bitch.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.